Day 11. Alola. As I mentioned earlier, I like playing TTRPGs, though admittedly I've only played Dungeons & Dragons. So here is a whole set of Ultra Beasts, all themed around dice. These are the number dice Pokemon, aka UB roll. 4 dice, 6 dice, 8 dice, the two forms of 10 dice, 12 dice, and 20 dice. These are just my own dice, however, here's an example of what I want all the forms to look like. 6 dice, a pure psychic type, the 6-sided dice Pokemon. These Pokemon seem to like being rolled and will happily let players of TTRPGs use them in their games, though they hate cheating and will refuse to move if you attempt to do so. They also tend to change color and design to better fit with their players' preferences. They have a new ability, Roll the Dice. Each round, a random stat of a Pokemon on the field is raised or lowered by 1. On the sides of 6 dice, you can see my take on Number Unknown. The point of these tiny little guys is that they are the size and shape of your average dice with Number Unknown as the numbers. The shiny is Metal Dice and takes on the Metal type, and alphas are the size of those plush dice. Acquiring Paradise does not work as you would expect them to. You actually need to breed 2 of any number of dice Pokemon, and the resulting egg will be a Paradise that is a combination of the two. Number of dice must be bred with Ditto if you wish to obtain more of them. Paradise, aka UB Duel, a pure psychic type, the pair of dice Pokemon. How these Pokemon even work has confused many Pokemon breeders and professors. There is much debate whether these Pokemon are somehow an evolution of its singular forms or another species entirely. The two dice are connected by a mysterious psychic energy. The ability of this Pokemon is Roll the Dice, again. It is the same as Roll the Dice, but it happens twice per turn. Shinies and Alphas act the same as the Number of Dice Pokemon. If you breed with a Number of Dice Alpha, it will give birth to Alpha versions of this Pokemon. However, you may have noticed there is a Paradise that is missing. When you breed the two forms of D10, the egg hatches into something else. Hundo Dice, aka UB Table, a pure psychic type, the 100-sided dice Pokemon. Originally, these Pokemon had a different UB designation of UB Fate. The designation was changed after so many gamers used it for another purpose. Pokemon breeders and professors are just as confused about this Pokemon as its Paradise siblings. They have a new ability, Table Roll, which randomizes the types of attacks for everyone on the field per round. Shinies and Alphas act the same as the Paradise Pokemon. That's not even the end of these Pokemon. With Hundo Dice as your lead Pokemon, fill a box labeled Dice Bag with some combination of the following dice as either Number of Dice or Paradise Pokemon. You will need 8d4, 6d6, 2d8, 4d10, 2 of each form, 1d12, and 1d20. You will then be able to evolve Hundo Dice, which consumes all the dice in the dice bag. If there is a shiny or alpha anywhere in the dice bag, the evolution takes on those characteristics. Seto Dice, aka UB Fixation, a pure null type. The set of dice Pokemon. Upon evolution, this Pokemon fixates on the first future it sees for itself and does everything in its power to make certain it happens, no matter the consequences. No one has been successful in convincing this Mon to choose their futures. This Pokemon then becomes a key item and acts as a shiny charm. I made this guy overpowered and chaotic. I am not allowing the player to have this as a Pokemon. At most, I may have a region with this as the Big Bad's final Pokemon, which this was actually created for, but that region has been split into multiple regions, Pandoria, and a potential region or set of regions based on Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere. It has 2 signature abilities and 4 signature moves, which you can see here. Again, this Pokemon is overpowered and chaotic. Luckily for the Big Bad fight, Seto Dice would have the ability Cheaters Never Prosper, which may or may not end up benefiting the player.